Okay, so hi, my name is Hannah McCarthy, and this is my website, Find Your Trade, as you can see the name right here. Um, the problem I am trying to solve with this site is that I'm exposing students to the fact that trade schools are not a bad option or a second option in comparison to a four-year university. My site gives students an easy place to explore all the positive sides that trade schools have to offer. So I am just kind of trying to break the stereotype that trade schools are a second option to people. In terms of the description, my project is a job, career, and networking site for anyone, but mainly students who are attending trade schools. The student will upload their experiences and work to a profile such as this that will in turn connect them to other people in the field or people who share their same interests or traits. So once you type in all your information, this site will kind of reload itself to show connections and other professionals that are in the same trade as you. The website is personalized towards the student's profile, allowing them to connect with others in the trade and read or explore how others got to where they are at today in hopes to inspire the student and kind of give them some feedback and advice on what they are doing and where they should be going with it. The first paper prototype was this right here. I know it's kind of blurry, but I will walk you through it. I tested 5 users on only the first pages because when I first built this site, users were telling me that I had just way too much going on. So I just wanted to give the homepage of each tab of my website to the users to kind of see how they would explore that. So I tested them on only these pages to get their input on what they would want to do next. This was the most helpful test that I had done because users had a lot of great advice and pointed me in the direction I needed to go. So in order to do this, I just laid out the home pages and made them tell me where they would go after each individual one, and that was really helpful because they had already seen the site and kind of had an example of what I was going to do with it. So because I tested the same users, so it was nice to hear from them their feedback after seeing a prototype with 100 options and a prototype that was kind of the basic because the first time I tested them, they gave me a lot of great advice, and I knew they would be able to help me and give me their opinions on something if I were just to give them kind of the basics of it. So I found that users were looking for places to connect to others, so I then made a page where they could just read about professionals and another page where they could connect with the professionals, and that seemed to be the best option in what I was hearing consistently during my prototype testing. So this digital prototype, I was testing that I wanted to see how the users would interact when I added on tabs and if they really would like having options on how to connect. So this time they had way more options. You're able to explore through and go through and then kind of just like view the option or whatever. I gave them, so when I did this, I just gave them my website and watched them walk through it as if while they were voicing out loud exactly what they were doing and why they were doing it as I was writing these opinions they had down. I found that users were more satisfied when they had more options that were accommodating to their needs. I did not add more options just I didn't just like add these options to add them so my site would have more information. I added them because the users wanted it. I didn't want it to make it more confusing to them, but to allow the users to explore in a way that they had previously told me they wanted to do. So earlier I just had, a connect tab where they could connect with people, but now it like goes to a second tab and then they can also explore some people that they may not be wanting to work with or be in their same area. For instance, like a makeup artist, say you just want to do hair. It still, kind of gives them a good story and kind of, allows them to see what others in the same industry are doing, even though it may not be exactly the field they want to go into. So the changes that are coming through hearing feedback from my users are that I need to change the homepage news to ideas geared towards beauty school, which is what the profile on my site is interested in. Because I didn't know where I was going with this, but I figured when I started building my website that it'd make more sense to gear it towards to make it kind of realistic and gear it towards one trade. And so instead of, doing stuff about like automobile news, I should gear it more towards beauty school. So it kind of makes sense instead of, throwing the users off like, why would I be interested in a construction industry, that type of stuff. And then I need to have a more specific job search. So here you can see that these are pretty specific, like actual ones, and they go to the actual like application, which is not connecting at the moment. So, but here, the users said that they like having a lot of options to explore by. So I gave them title, salary, and they can do just one or they can do multiple ones. But at the moment, say you're only looking for a salary or something. So I'll type in my email here and I'll show you that it's not really working. So, oh, well, like I can't type in here and I don't really understand why. So obviously that's an issue. And then, but I also have like this because that wasn't working, where I might link more jobs because obviously users are coming here to most likely find a job. So I need to kind of get that in check. So yeah, that is kind of what I have so far. I would love to hear your feedback or anyone else's feedback on what I should be adding. So thank you for listening.